Welcome to this explainer. Over the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a rapid but honestly a deeply powerful journey through the life of one of the 20th century's absolute greatest leaders, Nelson Mandela. His story is one of just unimaginable resilience, and we've distilled the whole shebang down into its most essential moments.
Okay, let's dive into this. It always seems impossible until it's done. This quote perfectly sets the tone for the historical epic we're about to unpack together. It's a true story about a man who faced absolutely insurmountable odds and, quite literally, changed the world. Part 1, the troublemaker, early life. He was born in 1918 into the Tembu royal family, and get this, his birth name, Rolilala, literally translates to troublemaker. And, well, that spirit of stirring things up to fight injustice, that never, ever left him. So, the crucial point is, to understand the man, we really have to understand his world. In 1948, the brutal reality of the apartheid system was introduced. A white minority held full political control. Meanwhile, Black South Africans were completely stripped of their voting rights, forced into separate, restricted living areas, and couldn't even move around freely. This was the exact injustice that sparked a revolution. Part 2, the fight against apartheid. Legal battles. Recognizing pretty early on that knowledge is power, Mandela threw himself into higher education. He actually went on to co-found South Africa's very first Black-owned law firm, providing absolutely crucial legal help to people trying to navigate those oppressive laws. From there, his political resistance escalated, and fast. He joined the ANC Youth League back in 1944 and led these massive, peaceful protests during the 1952 Defiance Campaign. But then came the tragic Sharpeville Massacre in 1960, where dozens of peaceful protesters were killed. That was a turning point. Mandela realized peaceful protest alone just wasn't going to cut it anymore, so he helped establish an armed wing, stepping into a much more dangerous arena. And this led directly to his arrest in 1962. Which brings us to a chilling, truly defining moment. Picture this. It's the famous 1963 Rivonia trial. Facing the immense weight of the state, Mandela stood up and delivered these exact words. "It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." I mean, wow. It was the ultimate climax of his defense. And shortly after that, he was handed a life sentence. Part 3, 27 years in prison, Robben Island. This marked the beginning of his darkest abyss, a period that would test the absolute limits of human endurance and spirit. 27 years. Just think about that number for a second. Most of that time was spent on Robben Island, doing grueling, hard labor in a limestone quarry. They threw him in a tiny cell, strictly censored his letters, and he had barely any contact with his family. But here's the incredible part. His mind remained entirely free. He kept studying, he inspired his fellow prisoners, and amazingly, against all odds, he grew into an international symbol of freedom. Part 4, freedom and reconciliation, a new era. Okay, jump to February 11th, 1990. The energy of the entire world shifted. Millions of people around the globe sat absolutely glued to their TVs to watch his live release. The troublemaker was finally free, and he was ready to lead his country forward. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer magnitude of what he accomplished next. He became South Africa's first Black president in 1994, officially ending apartheid. But, and this is the real game changer, instead of seeking revenge after 27 years in a cell, his presidency focused entirely on forgiveness. He championed the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and rapidly expanded education and healthcare to build one nation together. That radical choice, choosing reconciliation over revenge, it earned him over 250 global awards. We're talking the Nobel Peace Prize, which he notably shared with F.W. de Klerk, the Bharat Ratna, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The list goes on. Through his extraordinary grace, South Africa was welcomed right back into the international community. Part 5, a lasting legacy, retirement and impact. Mandela's commitment to democracy was so pure that he actually stepped down after just one single presidential term in 1999. Why? To strengthen the country's democratic tradition. He spent his final years advocating for charities and children's rights before passing away in 2013 at the age of 95. He left us with the ultimate blueprint for peaceful resistance and principled leadership. Mandela firmly believed education was the most powerful weapon we have. So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with his own philosophy as a challenge. How will you use your education to change the world? Take a moment and really think about that.